The ancient human spacecraft lay dormant on the surface of the barren, rocky planet. Its once gleaming metallic hull was now weathered and pitted, bearing the scars of centuries adrift in the unforgiving void of space. A team of scientists and researchers from a technologically advanced alien civilization had recently discovered the relic during a routine survey mission. As they carefully examined the vessel, a sense of bemusement swept through the group. "This thing is ancient, perhaps thousands of years old," remarked one of the scientists, running his fingers along the ship's outer hull. "I'm amazed it's still in one piece after all this time." Another member of the team nodded in agreement. "Yes, it's quite remarkable. But let's be honest, this is nothing more than a worthless relic from a long-dead civilization. It holds no practical value for us." The group continued their inspection, poking and prodding at the old spacecraft, their expressions a mix of curiosity and disdain. They scanned the vessel with their advanced instruments, studying its archaic propulsion systems and outdated sensor arrays. To their technologically superior minds, this human relic was little more than an interesting archaeological curiosity, a quaint remnant of a bygone era. Unknown to the alien researchers, however, a small human crew lay in cryogenic stasis deep within the ancient spacecraft's core. These hardy individuals had been entrusted with the sacred duty of protecting and preserving their species' most prized technological wonder. For centuries, they had drifted silently through the void, waiting patiently for the day when they would be needed once more. As the alien scientists continued their assessment, their probing scans eventually penetrated the vessel's outer defenses, triggering a series of automated systems. Suddenly, the dormant spacecraft began to hum with renewed energy, its once darkened interior panels flickering to life. The startled aliens jumped back, their eyes wide with a mixture of surprise and apprehension. "What's happening?" one of them exclaimed, his voice tinged with alarm. "I thought this thing was just a lifeless relic." Before anyone could react, a holographic display materialized in the air, casting an eerie blue glow over the researchers. A stern, disembodied voice echoed through the chamber, its tone both commanding and unfamiliar. "Greetings, visitors from beyond our world. You stand in the presence of the Aquila, flagship of the United Earth Armada. By what authority do you trespass upon our vessel?" The scientists exchanged bewildered looks, unsure of how to respond to this unexpected turn of events. One of them, a senior member of the team, stepped forward hesitantly. We mean no harm," he stammered. "We are simply a research team from the Galactic Concordance, cataloging ancient artifacts and historical sites. We stumbled upon your spacecraft, quite by accident." The holographic display flickered, and for a moment the researchers thought they detected a hint of disapproval in the disembodied voice. "Your presence here is an intrusion. This vessel is the property of the United Earth Armada, and any unauthorized tampering or interference will be met with the full force of our military might." The scientists recoiled, their expressions a mix of confusion and alarm. "Military might?" one of them exclaimed. "But this is just an ancient relic, a museum piece at best. Surely you can't be serious." The hologram crackled with static, and the voice that emanated from it was laced with a subtle, almost imperceptible edge. "Oh, we are very serious," it replied. "The Aquila may appear to be a mere relic to your eyes, but she is far more than that. She is the embodiment of humanity's technological prowess, a symbol of our resilience, and our refusal to be underestimated or dismissed." The scientists exchanged nervous glances, their confidence waning in the face of this unexpected and unsettling confrontation. One of them, a younger, more cautious member of the team, spoke up tentatively. "Look, we meant no offense. We were simply conducting a routine survey, as per the protocols of the Galactic Concordance. If this vessel is indeed the property of your United Earth Armada, then we will gladly withdraw and leave you in peace." The hologram flickered again, and for a moment the researchers thought they detected a hint of amusement in the disembodied voice. "Your offer to withdraw is appreciated," it replied. "However, I'm afraid that is no longer an option. You have already witnessed too much. The Aquila cannot allow you to leave and potentially spread word of her existence throughout the galaxy." The scientists stared at the hologram, their eyes widening with a dawning realization of the gravity of their situation. Before any of them could respond, the chamber was suddenly filled with the deafening hum of reactivated systems, and the ancient spacecraft began to tremble with a newfound vitality. "What's happening?" One of the scientists cried out, his voice laced with panic. "We are powering up our systems," the hologram replied, its tone calm and measured. "And we are about to demonstrate the true power of the Aquila." As the researchers watched in stunned silence, the dormant vessel erupted into a dazzling display of light and energy, its once dormant systems roaring to life with a ferocity that belied its age and appearance. The scientists could only stare in awe and trepidation, realizing that they had gravely underestimated the true nature of this relic they had stumbled upon. The small crew of human technicians and soldiers aboard the Aquila stirred from their cryogenic slumber as the ancient warship's systems roared to life. They had been entrusted with the sacred duty of protecting and preserving this technological marvel, a relic of a bygone era when humanity had boldly ventured out into the stars. For centuries, they had drifted silently through the void, waiting patiently for the day when they would be needed once more. And now, it seemed, that day had finally arrived. As the alien researchers watched in stunned silence, the Aquila's internal defenses sprang into action, sealing off all access points and effectively trapping the trespassers within. A series of holographic displays materialized around the chamber, surrounding the scientists with an eerie blue glow. "You have been warned," the disembodied voice echoed through the room, its tone now tinged with a hint of menace. "The Aquila does not take kindly to uninvited guests. Prepare to be escorted to a secure holding area while we decide how to deal with you." The researchers exchanged panicked glances, their earlier confidence now replaced by a growing sense of dread. One of them, a younger member of the team, stepped forward hesitantly. "Look, we meant no harm," he pleaded. "We were simply conducting a routine survey, as per the protocols of the Galactic Concordance. We had no idea this ship was still operational. Please, let us go, and we'll keep what we've seen a secret. You have our word." The holographic display flickered, and for a moment, the researchers thought they detected a hint of amusement in the disembodied voice. "Your word means nothing to us," the voice replied, its tone laced with a subtle edge of condescension. "You have trespassed upon a vessel of the United Earth Armada, and that is a transgression we take very seriously." As the researchers scrambled to find a way out of their predicament, the small human crew aboard the Aquila sprang into action. Emerging from their cryogenic chambers, they quickly took up their designated positions, their expressions a mix of determination and grim resolve. The captain of the vessel, a seasoned veteran with a weathered, no-nonsense demeanor, strode to the bridge and began barking orders. "Sound the alert," he commanded, his voice echoing through the ship's intercom. "Raise the shields and charge the main weapon systems. We have unauthorized visitors on board, and they must be dealt with accordingly." The crew members sprang into action, their movements precise and efficient. Within moments, the Aquila's once dormant defenses had been reactivated, and the ancient warship began to hum with a newfound energy. The alien researchers watched in a mixture of awe and terror as the vessel's systems came to life. Massive turrets emerged from hidden compartments, their muzzles glowing with an intense, crackling energy. Powerful energy shields shimmered into existence, enveloping the ship in a protective barrier. What is the meaning of this?" one of the scientists stammered, his voice quavering with fear. The holographic display flickered, and the disembodied voice replied with a hint of triumph. "The meaning of this, my dear visitor, is that you have gravely underestimated the true power of the Aquila. This vessel is no mere relic. It is a testament to the technological might of humanity, a symbol of our refusal to be conquered or subjugated." The researchers looked on in stunned silence as the ancient warship began to power up its weapon systems, the air crackling with the intensity of the energy that was building within. "You have trespassed upon our vessel, and for that there will be consequences," the voice continued, its tone now laced with a deadly seriousness. "We will not allow our secrets to be shared with the galaxy at large. You will be neutralized, and your vessel will be confiscated and studied." The scientists exchanged panicked glances, their minds racing as they desperately searched for a way out of this precarious situation. But as they watched the Aquila's weapon systems powering up, they realized that their chances of escape were growing slimmer by the moment. "Please, you don't understand," one of the researchers cried out. "We are simply explorers, cataloging ancient artifacts. We mean no harm, I swear it." The holographic display flickered once more, and the disembodied voice replied with a note of finality. "Your intentions are irrelevant. You have trespassed upon our vessel, and that is an unforgivable transgression. Prepare to face the consequences of your actions." As the Aquila's weapon systems reached their peak, the alien researchers braced themselves for the inevitable. They had come to study a relic, but now they found themselves staring down the barrel of a weapon that belonged to a bygone era, a weapon that was about to demonstrate the true power of humanity's technological prowess. The air crackled with tension as the alien researchers stared in a mixture of awe and terror at the reactivated systems of the ancient human warship, the Aquila. The once dormant vessel had sprung to life, its powerful defenses and weapon systems now humming with a deadly intensity. The researchers, who had initially dismissed the Aquila as a mere relic, now found themselves facing the full might of a technological marvel from a bygone era. The disembodied voice that echoed through the chamber left no doubt that the humans aboard the vessel were dead serious about protecting their prized asset. Suddenly, the stillness was shattered by the sound of a powerful engine's roaring to life. The researchers watched in stunned silence as the Aquila's massive thrusters ignited, propelling the ancient warship off the surface of the planet with a thunderous display of power. "What's happening?" one of the scientists cried out, his voice laced with panic. The holographic display flickered to life, and the stern, commanding tone of the Aquila's captain filled the chamber. "We are taking this vessel to a secure location," the voice declared. "You have trespassed upon our property, and for that there will be consequences." The researchers exchanged frantic glances, their minds racing as they tried to comprehend the gravity of the situation. But you can't do this," one of the scientists protested. "We are representatives of the galactic concordance, and we have the authority to." The hologram crackled with static, and the captain's voice cut him off mid-sentence. "Your galactic concordance means nothing to us," he snapped. "This vessel belongs to the United Earth Armada, and we will defend it at all costs." As the Aquila hurtled through the void, the researchers could do little more than watch in stunned silence. Their advanced technology and scientific prowess had failed to impress the humans, who seemed to wield a level of power and determination that the aliens had never encountered before. Suddenly, a new threat appeared on the Aquila's sensors, a fleet of heavily armed vessels from a rival alien civilization, drawn by the commotion and the promise of a valuable prize. The Aquila's captain wasted no time, immediately ordering his crew into battle positions. "Raise the shields and charge the main weapons," he barked. "We have unwelcome guests, and they will soon learn the true power of the Aquila." The researchers watched in a mixture of fear and fascination as the ancient warship responded to its captain's commands. The vessel's defensive systems sprang to life, generating a powerful energy shield that shimmered and crackled with pent-up energy. The alien vessels approached, their weapon systems primed and ready to fire. But as they drew closer, the Aquila's own armaments began to power up, their muzzles glowing with an intense, crackling energy. What are they doing?" one of the researchers whispered, his voice barely audible over the deafening hum of the Aquila systems. "They're preparing to defend themselves," another scientist replied, his tone laced with a mix of awe and trepidation. The alien vessels opened fire, their powerful energy beams lashing out at the Aquila. But to the researchers' astonishment, The ancient warship's shields held firm, deflecting the attacks with ease. And then, in a dazzling display of firepower, the Aquila unleashed its own arsenal. Massive turrets erupted from hidden compartments, their barrels blazing with devastating energy pulses that tore through the alien vessels with ease. The researchers watched in stunned silence as the Aquila's weapons systematically picked apart the enemy fleet, its movements precise and efficient. The alien ships, once confident in their superiority, now found themselves outmatched and outgunned by this unexpected foe. As the last of the enemy vessels succumbed to the Aquila's onslaught, the researchers exchanged horrified glances. They had come to study a relic, but instead they had witnessed the terrifying power of a human warship that defied their every expectation. This isn't possible," one of the scientists stammered, his face pale with disbelief. "How can an ancient vessel like this be so powerful?" The holographic display flickered to life once more, and the Aquila's captain spoke, his voice tinged with a hint of pride. "You are witnessing the true might of humanity's technological prowess," he declared. "The Aquila may be ancient, but she is far from obsolete. She is a symbol of our refusal to be underestimated or dismissed." The researchers recoiled, their confidence shattered by the realization that they had gravely misjudged the capabilities of this relic they had stumbled upon. What do you intend to do with us?" one of the scientists asked, his voice trembling with fear. The captain's response was succinct and uncompromising. "That remains to be seen," he said. "For now, you will be held in a secure location until we have determined the appropriate course of action. One thing is certain, however, you will not be allowed to leave this vessel and spread word of its existence." As the Aquila's systems continued to hum with power, the researchers could only watch in a mixture of awe and trepidation, their minds reeling from the realization that they had vastly underestimated the true nature of this ancient human warship. The Aquila, the ancient human warship that the alien researchers had once dismissed as a mere relic, had proven itself to be a formidable force to be reckoned with. As the vessel hurtled through the vastness of space, its powerful shields and advanced weaponry had easily dispatched the enemy fleet that had dared to challenge its authority. The researchers, once confident in their technological superiority, now found themselves captive aboard the very vessel they had come to study. They huddled in a secure holding area, their expressions a mix of awe, fear, and uncertainty. Deep within the Aquila's core, the human crew members were in a state of hushed discussion, their faces etched with a determined focus. They had been entrusted with the sacred duty of protecting this technological marvel, a relic of a bygone era when humanity had reached for the stars. "We must be cautious," the Aquila's captain said, his voice low and measured. "These alien researchers have seen too much. We cannot allow them to leave and spread word of our existence throughout the galaxy." One of the crew members, a young and eager technician, spoke up. "But sir, surely we can reason with them, explain the importance of our mission. They are scientists, after all. They must understand the significance of what we're guarding." The captain shook his head, his expression grim. "These aliens have already demonstrated their willingness to trespass and poke around where they do not belong. We cannot take that risk. The Aquila's secrets must remain hidden, at least for now." The crew members exchanged troubled glances, their loyalty to their mission warring with their natural inclination toward diplomacy and understanding. "What do you propose we do, then?" another crew member asked, his voice tinged with unease. The captain's response was resolute. "We will keep the researchers confined until we have determined the appropriate course of action. Their fate will be decided by the United Earth Armada." As the Aquila continued its steady course through the void, the researchers found themselves growing increasingly anxious and restless. They had been stripped of their personal effects and confined to a small, heavily guarded chamber, their pleas for release falling on deaf ears. One of the researchers, a young and inquisitive scientist, approached the force field that separated them from their captors. "Please," he said, his voice tinged with desperation, "we mean you no harm. We are simply explorers, cataloging ancient artifacts. Surely you can understand our curiosity." The holographic display flashed to life, and the Aquila's captain appeared, his expression stern and unyielding. "Your curiosity has led you to trespass upon a vessel that belongs to the United Earth Armada," he said, his tone laced with a subtle edge of disdain. "That is a transgression we do not take lightly." The researcher swallowed hard, his mind racing as he searched for a way to diffuse the tense situation. "Please, if you would just hear us out, I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement. We have no desire to interfere with your mission, or to spread word of your existence. We simply want to learn, to understand." The captain's response was unwavering. "Your desires are irrelevant. The Aquila's secrets must be protected at all costs. You have seen too much, and we cannot take the risk of allowing you to leave." The researcher's face fell, his shoulders slumping in defeat. "Then what do you intend to do with us?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The captain's expression remained impassive. "That will be determined by the Armada. For now, you will remain confined until a decision has been made." As the hologram faded, the researcher turned to his colleagues, his eyes filled with a mixture of fear and resignation. "We're in trouble," he said, his voice barely audible. "These humans, they're not like anything we've ever encountered before." The other researchers nodded in silent agreement, their own expressions mirroring the young scientist's sense of unease. They had come to study a relic, but instead they had stumbled upon a technological marvel that defied their every expectation. Deep within the Aquila's core, the human crew members continued their hushed discussions, their faces etched with a newfound determination. They had sworn an oath to protect the secrets of their ancient vessel, and they were not about to let a few curious aliens stand in their way. As the Aquila hurtled through the void, its powerful engines propelling it ever closer to its mysterious destination, the researchers could only watch and wait, their fate now resting in the hands of their unexpected captors. The Aquila, the ancient human warship, continued its steady course through the void of space, its powerful engines propelling it ever closer to its mysterious destination. Aboard the vessel, the small crew of human technicians and soldiers remained steadfast in their determination to protect the secrets of their technological marvel. Meanwhile, the alien researchers, once confident in their own technological superiority, now found themselves captives aboard the very relic they had come to study. Confined to a heavily guarded holding area, they could only watch and wait, their expressions a mix of fear, awe, and uncertainty. Deep within the Aquila's core, the crew members gathered around a holographic display, their faces etched with a renewed sense of purpose. "The time has come," the captain declared, his voice firm and unwavering. "We must show these aliens the true power of the Aquila." The crew members exchanged determined glances, their hands moving swiftly across the vessel's control panels as they set the stage for a grand display of their technological might. Suddenly, the Aquila's system sprung to life, its once dormant exterior panels flickering to life with a dazzling array of lights and energy. The researchers, still confined to their holding area, watched in a mix of awe and trepidation as the ancient warship began to transform before their eyes. Massive turrets emerged from hidden compartments, their muzzles glowing with an intense, crackling energy. Powerful energy shields shimmered into existence, enveloping the vessel in a protective barrier that seemed to defy the very laws of physics. What is happening?" one of the researchers stammered, his voice barely audible over the deafening hum of the Aquila systems. The holographic display flickered to life once more, and the stern, commanding voice of the Aquila's captain echoed through the chamber. "Greetings, visitors from beyond our world," the captain announced, his tone laced with a hint of triumph. "You are about to witness the true power of the Aquila, the flagship of the United Earth Armada." The researchers exchanged bewildered glances, their minds racing as they tried to comprehend the gravity of the situation. But this is just an ancient relic," one of them protested, his voice tinged with desperation. "How can it possibly be so powerful?" The captain's response was swift and uncompromising. "You have gravely underestimated the technological prowess of humanity," he said, his words dripping with a subtle edge of disdain. "The Aquila may appear to be a mere relic to your eyes, but she is far more than that. She is the embodiment of our refusal to be conquered or subjugated." As the captain spoke, the Aquila's weapon systems began to power up, their muzzles glowing with an intensity that sent a shiver down the spines of the captive researchers. What are you going to do?" one of the scientists asked, his voice trembling with fear. The captain's expression remained impassive, but a hint of triumph flickered across his features. "We are going to demonstrate the true power of the Aquila," he replied, his voice laced with a deadly seriousness. Suddenly, the ancient warship unleashed a dazzling display of firepower, its massive turrets blazing with a barrage of devastating energy pulses. The researchers watched in stunned silence as the Aquila's weapons tore through the empty void, their deadly accuracy and raw power leaving them in a state of utter disbelief. "Impossible," one of the scientists whispered, his face pale with a mixture of awe and terror. The captain's voice echoed through the chamber once more, his tone laced with a subtle edge of satisfaction. "As you can see, the Aquila is far from a mere relic," he declared. "She is a testament to the technological might of humanity, a symbol of our refusal to be underestimated or dismissed." The researchers exchanged panicked glances, their earlier confidence now replaced by a growing sense of dread. They had come to study an ancient artifact, but instead they had found themselves facing the formidable power of a human warship that defied their every expectation. "Please," one of the scientists pleaded, his voice barely above a whisper. "We meant no harm. We are simply explorers, seeking to understand the past. Surely there must be a way for us to coexist peacefully." The captain's response was swift and uncompromising. "Peaceful coexistence is no longer an option," he declared. "You have trespassed upon our vessel, and for that there will be consequences. The Aquila's secrets must be protected at all costs." As the researchers braced themselves for the inevitable, the ancient warship continued its dazzling display of power, its weapon systems unleashing a barrage of devastating energy pulses that sent shockwaves through the void. The once dismissive aliens now found themselves facing a technological marvel that had shattered their every preconception. And as the Aquila's might continued to unfold before their eyes, they could only watch in a mixture of awe, fear, and a growing sense of respect for the formidable power of humanity's technological prowess. The alien researchers could only watch in stunned silence as the ancient human warship, the Aquila, unleashed its devastating firepower upon the empty void of space. The once dormant vessel had sprung to life, its powerful weapon systems carrying through the cosmos with a ferocity that left the captive scientists reeling. "Impossible," one of the researchers whispered, his face pale with a mixture of awe and terror. The holographic display crackled to life, and the stern, commanding voice of the Aquila's captain echoed through the chamber. "You see now the true power of the Aquila," he declared, his tone laced with a subtle edge of triumph. "This vessel is no mere relic, but a testament to the technological might of humanity, a might that you have clearly underestimated." The researchers exchanged bewildered glances, their minds racing as they tried to comprehend the gravity of the situation. They had come to study an ancient artifact, but instead they had found themselves facing a technological marvel that defied their every expectation. But how is this possible?" one of the scientists protested, his voice trembling with a hint of desperation. "Your vessel is centuries old, yet it wields a level of firepower that even our most advanced ships cannot match." The captain's response was swift and uncompromising. "The Aquila may be ancient, but her technology is anything but obsolete," he said, his words dripping with a subtle edge of disdain. "We have spent centuries perfecting and refining her systems, harnessing the full potential of our species' ingenuity and determination." The researchers watched in a mixture of awe and terror as the Aquila's weapon systems continued their relentless barrage, their devastating energy pulses tearing through the empty void with alarming precision. What? What do you intend to do with us? Another scientist asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The captain's expression remained impassive, but a hint of menace flickered across his features. That is a decision that will be made by the United Earth Armada, he replied, his tone laced with a deadly seriousness. For now, you will remain confined until we have determined the appropriate course of action. The researchers exchanged panicked glances, their earlier confidence now replaced by a growing sense of dread. They had underestimated the power of this relic, and now they found themselves at the mercy of a technological marvel that they had never even dared to imagine. As the Aquila continued its assault, the alien ships that had initially challenged the ancient warship began to falter, their defenses crumbling under the onslaught of the Aquila's devastating firepower. They're retreating, one of the researchers observed, his voice tinged with a hint of disbelief. The captain's response was laced with a subtle edge of satisfaction. Of course they are, he said, his words dripping with a sense of triumph. The Aquila is more than a match for their pitiful vessels. They have learned the hard way that underestimating our technological prowess is a grave mistake. The researchers watched in stunned silence as the Aquila's weapon systems continued to decimate the retreating alien ships, their once formidable defenses crumbling under the relentless barrage. This can't be happening, one of the scientists murmured, his face a mask of disbelief. How can a vessel from such an ancient civilization possess such power? The captain's expression hardened, his voice tinged with a subtle edge of disapproval. You continue to underestimate us, he said, his words laced with a hint of reproach. The Aquila is not merely an ancient relic, but a symbol of humanity's unwavering determination and technological prowess. We have spent centuries refining and perfecting her systems, ensuring that she remains a force to be reckoned with, even in this modern age. As the alien ships retreated into the void, the Aquila's crew members let out a cheer of triumph, their faces etched with a sense of pride and accomplishment. The researchers, once so confident in their own technological superiority, now found themselves utterly humbled by the sheer power of this unexpected foe. What happens now? One of the scientists asked, his voice barely audible. The captain's response was succinct and unwavering. Now we determine your fate, he said, his tone laced with a hint of ominous finality. The Aquila's secrets must be protected, and that means ensuring that you can never leave this vessel and spread word of our existence. The researchers exchanged horrified glances, their minds racing as they desperately searched for a way to escape their predicament. But as they stared into the impassive face of the Aquila's captain, they knew that their fate now rested firmly in the hands of their unexpected captors. The Aquila, the ancient human warship, continued its steady course through the void of space, its powerful systems humming with a renewed sense of vitality. The alien researchers, once so confident in their technological superiority, now found themselves captives aboard the very relic they had come to study. As the Aquila's crew members celebrated their decisive victory over the retreating alien ships, the researchers huddled in their heavily guarded holding area, their expressions a mix of awe, fear, and uncertainty. What's going to happen to us? One of the scientists whispered, his voice barely audible over the hum of the Aquila systems. Another researcher shook her head, her face etched with a sense of resignation. I don't know, she replied, her words laced with a hint of desperation. But it's clear that these humans are not to be underestimated. The researchers exchanged troubled glances, their minds racing as they tried to comprehend the gravity of their situation. They had come to study an ancient artifact, but instead they had found themselves facing a technological marvel that defied their every expectation. Deep within the Aquila's core, the human crew members continued their hushed discussions, their expressions a mix of determination and a newfound sense of purpose. The Aquila has proven her worth, the captain declared, his voice firm and unwavering. But now we must uncover the true nature of her origins and her significance to our species. One of the younger crew members, a technician with a keen intellect, spoke up. "Sir, the sensors have detected trace elements and residual energy signatures that suggest the Aquila may be more than just an ancient warship. There are indications that she may possess a deeper, more profound connection to our past." The captain nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Then we must investigate further," he said, his words laced with a sense of urgency. "The Aquila's secrets must be uncovered, no matter the cost." As the crew members set to work, delving deeper into the Aquila's history and technology, the alien researchers found themselves the subject of ever-increasing scrutiny. The humans, once content to keep them confined, now began to engage in a series of probing questions and intense examinations. "What do you know of the origins of this vessel?" one of the crew members asked, his gaze intense and unwavering. The researchers exchanged nervous glances, their minds racing as they tried to formulate a response. We know very little," one of them admitted, his voice tinged with a hint of trepidation. "Our records indicate that this spacecraft is centuries, perhaps even millennia old, but beyond that, we can only speculate." The crew member's expression hardened, and a hint of frustration flickered across his features. "That is unacceptable," he said, his words laced with a subtle edge of reproach. "The Aquila is a vessel of great significance to our species, and we must understand its history and its purpose." The researchers recoiled, their earlier confidence now replaced by a growing sense of unease. We're scientists," one of them stammered, "not historians or archaeologists. We simply don't have the knowledge or the resources to uncover the Aquila's deeper secrets." The crew member's response was swift and uncompromising. "Then you will assist us in our investigation," he declared, his tone leaving no room for argument. "The Aquila's past is our past, and we cannot allow her mysteries to remain hidden any longer." As the researchers found themselves pressed into service, their captors began to reveal a deeper, more profound understanding of the ancient warship's significance. They spoke of a time when humanity had ventured out into the stars, driven by a thirst for exploration and a desire to forge its own destiny. The researchers listened, their eyes widening with a sense of awe and wonder as they glimpsed the scope of humanity's past ambitions. They had come to study a relic, but now they found themselves confronted with the realization that this relic was far more than just an ancient spacecraft. "This vessel, it's not just a warship, is it?" one of the researchers asked, her voice tinged with a newfound sense of respect. The crew member nodded, his expression solemn. "The Aquila is a symbol of our species' past," he replied, "a testament to our resilience and our refusal to be confined to a single world. She represents the very best of what humanity has to offer, our ingenuity, our determination, and our unwavering spirit." As the researchers grappled with the implications of this revelation, they began to see the Aquila in a new light. No longer a mere relic, the ancient warship had become a window into a forgotten chapter of human history, a time when the stars themselves had been within their grasp. And with this newfound understanding came a growing sense of respect and admiration for the humans who had entrusted themselves with the Aquila's safekeeping, a responsibility that they had carried with unwavering dedication for centuries. As the Aquila, the ancient human warship, continued its steady course through the void of space, the captive alien researchers found themselves caught in a whirlwind of new revelations. What they had once dismissed as a mere relic had now become a window into a forgotten chapter of humanity's past, a time when the stars themselves had been within their grasp. The human crew members, once fiercely protective of the Aquila's secrets, had now begun to share their knowledge with the researchers, eager to uncover the true significance of this technological marvel. "The Aquila is not just a warship," the captain explained, his voice tinged with a sense of reverence. "She is a symbol of humanity's ambition, our refusal to be confined to a single world. She represents the very best of what we have to offer, our ingenuity, our determination, and our unwavering spirit." The researchers listened, their eyes widening with a sense of awe and wonder as they began to understand the true scope of the Aquila's legacy. They had come to study an artifact, but now they found themselves confronted with a vessel that had once carried humanity's dreams and aspirations into the stars. "But how is it that you have managed to preserve this vessel for so long?" one of the researchers asked, her voice laced with a hint of curiosity. The captain's expression softened, and a hint of pride flickered across his features. "It has not been an easy task," he admitted. "We have guarded the Aquila's secrets for centuries, passing down our knowledge and our commitment to each new generation of crew members. It is our sacred duty to ensure that her legacy lives on." The researchers exchanged glances, their earlier fear and trepidation now replaced by a growing sense of respect and understanding. Then you must be the descendants of the original crew," one of them observed, his voice tinged with awe. The captain nodded, his expression solemn. "We are," he confirmed, "and it is our responsibility to ensure that the Aquila's significance is recognized and honored by the galaxy at large." The researchers fell silent, their minds racing as they tried to comprehend the gravity of the situation. They had come to study a relic, but now they found themselves confronted with a vessel that represented the very heart and soul of humanity's past ambitions. What do you intend to do now?" one of the researchers asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The captain's expression hardened, and a hint of determination flickered across his features. "We will make contact with the other civilizations of the galaxy," he declared, his words laced with a sense of purpose. "We will share the Aquila's story, and we will seek to forge new alliances and partnerships, not as conquerors, but as explorers and collaborators." The researchers exchanged stunned glances, their minds struggling to process the implications of the captain's words. But what about us?" another researcher asked, his voice tinged with a hint of fear. "What will become of us?" The captain's expression softened, and a hint of empathy flickered across his features. "You are no longer our captives," he replied, his words laced with a sense of reassurance. "You are witnesses to the Aquila's legacy, and we would be honored to have you join us in our mission to share it with the galaxy." The researchers stared at the captain, their expressions a mix of disbelief and cautious optimism. You mean that?" one of them asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The captain nodded, a hint of a smile playing across his lips. "Yes," he replied. "We have learned that the Aquila's secrets are not to be guarded jealously, but to be shared with those who seek to understand and appreciate the true scope of humanity's past achievements." As the researchers processed the captain's words, a sense of relief and excitement began to take hold. They had come to study a relic, but now they found themselves on the cusp of a new and exciting chapter, one in which they would be able to play a role in the Aquila's legacy and the future of human exploration. We accept," one of the researchers said, her voice filled with a newfound sense of purpose. The captain's expression brightened, and he extended his hand in a gesture of partnership. "Then welcome aboard the Aquila," he said, his words laced with a sense of pride and optimism. "Together, we will forge a new path for humanity, and we will show the galaxy that the spirit of exploration and discovery still burns brightly within us." As the Aquila continued its steady course through the void, the human crew and their newfound alien allies worked side by side, each contributing their unique perspectives and skills to the shared goal of uncovering the vessel's secrets and sharing its legacy with the galaxy. It was a partnership born of unexpected circumstances, but one that promised to open up a new chapter in the story of humanity's reach for the stars.